Motorsports. This track here teaches a lot of patience. I know the Lord teaches us about patience, and he was really keeping my throttle down. You know, you got to be real patient and smooth around this place.
But you didn't qualify all so well, so in the race itself, you're going to be mired back mid-pack. A long way to go to the front.
Yeah, we are. It's going to be a long night. Maybe they'll have a few of those spins and stuff, and we can get some freebies that way. But as far as actually passing the way I kind of dropped the ball in qualifying, we got an uphill drive tonight, that's for sure.
So what is the word we learned tonight? Patience. This is a bump and grind, nerf kind of racetrack, kind of like racing a midget indoors.
Yeah, it's I've run a few races at the Speedrome, and I know you have too, and this is real similar to that. You don't want to get hung on the outside. It's a scramble down to the inside, and hopefully we can keep the BASF car down there and do some good tonight.
We'll keep an eye on 99 and see what you can do with that feature.
Sounds good to me. Thanks, Gary.
Brad's winning time was a new track record for 8 laps here at Louisville Motor Speedway, 1 minute 57 and 2100 seconds. The second heat race is coming up when we return to Louisville.
A little drop of water. What could it do to your car's finish? Plenty. Unless you use Rain-X Ultra Wax. With the same super water-repelling action you get in Rain-X for windshields, it's easy to use. It makes water bead right up and roll right off, so it can't magnify the sun's harmful UV rays or form those nasty water spots. So use new Rain-X Ultra Wax. Nothing sticks but the shine.
You change your oil every 3,000 miles, right? Don't, do you? You push it. Now you're so busy you try to squeeze another 1,000 miles out of your oil. Or more. Well, squeeze this. Just to do it yourself when you have the time. Reformulated Quaker State. Protection beyond 3,000 miles under any driving conditions. Anybody say insurance? It's been tested. And unlike that lazy uncle nobody really likes to talk about, it works. So go get some. Quaker State. Sensible technology. What more do you need to know?
You sure? Yeah, I'm sorry, too. Honey, I tried every locksmith in the city, and they won't take a check.
Consider the Visa check card. It automatically deducts from your checking account everywhere Visa's accepted, so you can get what you need.
What are you doing in there?
Nothing. And get on with life. Visa check card. It's everywhere you want to be.
Uh-oh, we got trouble. Please, not me. That's got to hurt.
Tracy!
We gotta do something.
She's back!
Let's go! Run, monkey, run! I'm not going to make it. She's gonna eat monkey. Not without milk.
Mom!
Got milk.
Who is the monkey now?
ESPN Speed World welcomes you back to Louisville Motor Speedway for the Stoops Freightliner Sprint Car Series tonight. The United States Auto Club Sprints ready to go with the second heat race of the evening. The lineup, Kevin Miller will have the pole in number 21, Steve Cerniak outside in 1S. The second row, Bobby Smith in number 8, and Tracy Hines in 51. Tony Elliott starts inside row number 3 and car number 1. And Matt Boo is alongside in 73. The fourth row, Kip Beard in number 61, and Dave Steele in number 2. And John Toth is starting back in the fifth row in car number 96. Dave Steele looking for a good year in the Pep Boys Indy Racing League, especially at the Indianapolis 500 here before too long.
Yes, he's going to be driving for the Pennzoil Panther team. He had a couple of runs last year. He told me today that he ran 218 miles an hour this afternoon. They were just trying to sneak up on things. He's very, very well liked by this team. He's been a tremendous help to him, and he really, really has the efforts of the team on his side. There's Tracy Hines, who won the Border Wars last week, and that's two of the toughest racetracks in the country, Eldora and Winchester. High bank dirt, high bank pavement, and very, very fast.
And let's see if they get the green flag this time by. Indeed, they do. We are racing, and again, a bit of a mix-up at the drop of the green flag, but everybody's okay. From the outside of row number 1, or rather from the inside of row number 1, Kevin Miller has the lead. Steve Cerniak running second, and
they threw the yellow flag. I think they did not like the start. It looked like Cerniak did not get very good jumps. They want to give him a little better chance to get across that starting line evenly, so they're going to try this once again. There's Cerniak. He's from Pennsylvania. He actually moved to the Midwest just so he could run in USAC. See how far back he was? And he got a little squirrely there, and he was a whole car length back behind before they ever got to the start-finish line.
So we'll try it once again. Miller inside, Cerniak outside. Coming off corner number 4, looking for the green flag. And a much better start this time. Cerniak takes the lead from outside his front row starting position. Miller second. Look at Tracy Hines working on the high side, and he's up to second and going for the lead already.
Wow, that's a very gutsy move on the outside going down that back straightaway. He did a very nice job to get out there. Early in the races, when you got to make that move, if you're going to do it on the outside, usually doesn't work all that well later on. And as I say that, here comes, it looks like Tony Elliott around the outside of Kevin Miller.
Yeah, Bobby Smith is running in third position right now in that yellow car. He sneaks up to the inside of Hines and gives him a race. Meanwhile, it is Tony Elliott in a spin down in turn number 1. That's the 61 car of Kip Beard.
Kip Beard from Florida. They made the trip up here. He and Stan Butler both made this trip up here just to run this race. 15 hours one way.
Wow.
These guys are pretty tough down there. They got to go back and run another race down in Florida this weekend. So they're heading back home right after this race. Right here, he gets in under Kevin Miller. You can see clear to the left-hand side of your screen. He tries to sneak in under him. He doesn't have enough room, but he was way out of position to make the corner. He was so low, he tried to swing out wider so he could get an arc, but he just had no chance. The back end got out from under him. Look how low he is. See, the left rear got loose, and then when he swung it back to the right, he couldn't stop sliding on around. So Dave Steele almost got caught up.
He sure did. So did Matt Boo in the 73 car. Almost got collected by the car of Kip Beard, but everybody is okay. Beard is going to be able to restart at the tail of the field. Well, pretty impressive move there by Tracy Hines in the early going, maybe showing us that outside groove is beginning to come in already.
I'm going to tell you the most impressive move he made was not nailing Cerniak when he got all sideways there. He could have very easily parked him. He got on the brakes and didn't lose a position and still did not run into Cerniak.
Steve Cerniak, as you said, from Pennsylvania, Carlisle, Pennsylvania, to be specific. He recently finished third at Eldora and backed that up with an 11th at Winchester, earning him his best career finish as well as a 4th place in the combined Border Wars point standings.
Yeah, it took a lot for him just to pack up and move out here to run this series. He came out 2 years ago, kind of ran 1 or 2 races, thought he really liked this non-wing stuff, so he decided to come back and do it all the time.
All right, we'll see if we can get a restart. There are 2 laps completed in this 8-lap heat race, and the green comes out again. Back to racing. We'll see if Hines can close in on Cerniak. Oh, Smith with a problem.
Yeah, it looked like he got in there, got on the brakes very hard. Once you got the front wheel sliding, that car is not going to turn. And while those things were sliding, he just had to hit for the wall. He got out of it just in time. Right there, Cerniak got a little bit sideways. Hines could not take advantage of it.
So Tracy Hines now right on the back of the number 1. Now he goes to the outside, tries to make an outside pass once again, wheel to wheel through the corner, but Tracy Hines gets the job done and takes the lead.
Boy, when a guy's running sideways like that, you're taking your life in your hands to get out there and pass him, but he made that look easy.
Watching the battle for 4th position as Dave Steele tries to get past Kevin Miller. He tried it on the high side. Now he may try to the inside. Steele trying to keep from running the semi-feature here this evening.
And you can see there's Matt Booth smoking that right rear tire. He's doing everything he can. Kevin Miller doing exactly the right thing, though. He's standing right on the bottom of the racetrack. If you want to go around me, go around on the high side. Right there. No, he just can't quite sneak in under him.
Got to protect that position, and he's doing a fine job of it. So Miller continues to run in 4th, and Dave Steele is on the outside looking in for an automatic transfer to the feature race. The white flag is out. If Steele is going to make a move, he's going to have to do it now. But again, Miller holds off the challenge for the moment. Tracy Hines has a huge lead in this race.
Now, there he goes. If he doesn't touch wheels.
Oh, nice job. He got it done. Tracy Hines wins. Cerniak second. It is Tony Elliott finishing in 3rd spot, and Dave Steele did pass Miller in the final lap to take home 4th.
Wow, that was a brave move he made. He almost touched wheels, and if they had a touch, he'd have been in big trouble, but he made that move work, as did Tracy Hines. That shows that both of those guys have the race cars pretty well under control.
Finishing back in 5th position was Miller. Then comes Matt Boo. Next would be Kip Beard and the 8 car of Bobby Smith finished in 7th position. Here are the top 5: Tracy Hines, Cerniak, Elliott Steele, and Eric Gordon. Back with more from Louisville Motor Speedway. We'll talk with the winner of that heat, Tracy Hines, in just a moment.
Another Italian masterpiece. Luciano's Restaurant, winner of the prestigious 5-Star Diamond Award. Delicious Northern Italian cuisine, exquisitely prepared. Impeccable service. Decadent, mouth-watering desserts. And a relaxed atmosphere of dining elegance.
This is Luciano's. Come, mangia.
Luciano's, Route 1 in Rentham.
Attention to detail, outstanding customer service. Top-of-the-line vinyl siding and replacement windows installed by professionals, all done at unbeatable prices, are what have made Vinyl Protective Systems New England's top choice. We guarantee our work, and we offer 100% financing. And right now, we can offer you low monthly payments with no payments for 6 months. Call Vinyl Protective Systems today and ask about our $1,500 rebate and our free replacement windows offer. Vinyl Protective Systems, we're still New England's top choice.
My apartment has a TV. I watch RPM tonight for my knowledge. The more I watch, the bigger it gets. Someday, I will share my knowledge with the world. That will be a fun day.
Results of heat race number 2. Tracy Hines wins. Steve Cerniak 2nd, and Tony Elliott, Dave Steele, and Kevin Miller finished in the 5th position in that race, but he and the others will have to go through the semi-feature. Let's talk to the winner. Here's Gary.
Well, of course, I wanted to underscore the sponsorship, Tom Cherry Mufflers. For you race car fans, that name rings a bell. He was pretty darn stout in a sprint car, won the Little 500 several times, and sponsoring this guy here. Tracy, you proved to us there's an outside groove.
Yeah, I told my mechanic, Jim McQueen, the car wasn't real good qualifying, and it takes 2 or 3 laps to get going, but I told him the outside's where to go here. Speedrome experience coming back then. I just wish we qualified a little better. There's only like 3/10. We qualified 14th. We were 3/10 off the track record. So hopefully if we get things going in the feature and we have some yellows, we can win it.
And we're looking now as you talk on that pass for the lead. So talk about making that pass on the outside.
Really just, I knew Steve was a little loose, so he was going to just try to hold his line, and him and I are pretty good friends, so I thought once I showed my nose, he knew he'd still get a transfer and let me go.
And that's still gutsy when the guy is loose, and you know it, and you go by on the outside.
Yeah, but I figured that there was a couple guys behind me that would be coming if I didn't get around this guy, and I didn't want to give them a chance to root on me.
Well, it was nice to start outside the second row, but you got a long way to go in the feature.
Yeah, the only thing that may be good for us here is a lot of guys may not transfer or get their spots back because, like I said, qualifying is one thing here and then racing's another, so hopefully we'll be there.
Easy car to see, night or day, number 51. Let's go on down pit road to Amy East.
Steve Cerniak did an excellent job holding off Tony Elliott, who brought home a 3rd-place finish after starting 5th. So you obviously know how to pass at Louisville. Good job.
We've got a good little race car tonight. You know, we started back there in the 5th position, and, you know, we just wanted to get in the show. It didn't pay nothing to get up there and, you know, mix it up. We just wanted to get in and, you know, worry about the feature. We've got a good race car, so hopefully we're going to go to the front and win this thing tonight.
Well, you're in the show, and Jeff Walker does an excellent job setting up your dirt sprint car, and I know you guys have a new pavement program going for yet a 2nd championship. Any changes before the feature?
We're going to make a couple. You know, we've been talking with Jack French on the telephone a little bit, you know, back and forth, because, you know, we don't know everything about pavement. So we're just going to keep making the changes he tells us and doing what we're doing and, you know, hopefully win this, you know, to come out the big winner tonight.
Look for Tony Elliott to be strong tonight.
The defending USAC Stoops Freightliner Sprint Car Champion, Tony Elliott. The 3rd heat race is lining up. We'll be back with it in just a moment from Louisville Motor Speedway.
Turn it any way you want it, anywhere you want it to go.
Goes where you want it,
Move it up high, baby, you can move it down low.
stays where you put it. The flexible shower massage from Teledyne Waterpick. It's about a vision for moving earth, goods,
even children, better, more safely. Backed by people driven to exceed your expectations. Come ride with a leader that's taking a new road. International. Delivering beyond the expected.
What drives these cars to perform? The skill of Whit Bazemore and Robbie Gordon. But they'll tell you CD2's intense chemistry helps give their cars the edge.
Intense chemistry. Intense performance.
CD2.
In the soul of every Bridgestone Potenza lies the twists and turns of the legendary Formula One Grand Prix courses of the world. The ultimate proving grounds of tire technology. Using a tapered tread element derived from the Potenza Racing Rain tire, the Potenza RE910 Street tire handles the road wet or dry. Made with Unity, Bridgestone's ultimate tire technology. Bridgestone Potenza, technology-driven performance used on every Grand Prix course of Formula One.
It's Sunday Night Baseball on ESPN. He's one of the best young power hitters in the game. Carlos Delgado is leading the youth movement in Toronto. Now Texas comes a-knockin'. Rangers, Blue Jays, the Sunday night game of the week. Sunday at 8 on ESPN.
USAC Stoops Freightliner Sprint Cars set to go for the third heat race of the evening here at Louisville Motor Speedway. On the pole, Brett Poole in car number 9, Brandon Petty outside in number 30. Second row, Jason McCord in 4C, and Robbie Rice in 22. Third row, Ryan Newman in 10, Matt Jewell in 18, and in the fourth row, Stan Butler in 61 and Brian Gerster in 26. The first two heat races have been won from the outside of row number 2. Larry, that's where your son is starting.
Well, I don't think he's got quite the experience that most of these guys have had. Actually, the first 3 guys, or 3 out of the first 4 guys, haven't had a lot of experience on the pavement. Robbie is one of those guys. They've had some experience in the last couple of years, but really this is only his 3rd or 4th time on the pavement, so it's going to be tough for him. You got to look for a guy like Jason McCord, who is inside of row number 2, right inside of Robbie. He's a guy that's got a lot of pavement experience. He's got a great starting spot. He should jump into the lead fairly quick.
Gary, what do you got from back there in the pit
Well,
area?
just an observation, Rice Aroni. It's a lot easier watching your kid race here than at Winchester last Sunday.
Well, that's a little bit true, I gotta admit.
Here we go with heat race number 3. McCord out to an early lead here as one car, Matt Jewell, is through the grassy part of the infield, goes back onto the racetrack, and the caution comes out, so we'll do it again.
Yeah, there was some bumping and gouging all the way through there. It wasn't a very good start. It was kind of ragged from row 2 on back, so I think after those guys made the contact, they decided to throw out the yellow and start over again.
Take a look at how your son did on that start as he came off corner number 4.
Whoa, got on the throttle a little bit hard, kind of like a turbocharger kicking in the old Indy cars, I guess, because that thing got a little bit loose on him. And then once he got into the corner, he got on the brakes very hard, went out and made some contact with Brandon Petty.
And Jewell going through the infield as he was 4 wide going into the corner and just simply ran out of room.
Yeah, once those guys up in front kind of mixed it up a little bit, he tried to get around a couple of cars way down on the inside. There just wasn't enough room, so he got down through the grass, and he didn't hurt anything. It doesn't look like there's not a great deal of speed at that point in the racetrack.
All right, we'll try to do it again as they are lined up in correct order. Brett Poole on the inside, Brandon Petty on the outside of row number 1, then McCord and Rice, Newman and Jewell, and Butler and Gerster. Also watch the black number 10 of Brian Newman, who's lined up on the inside of row 3. He should be good in this heat race. Okay, the green comes out and we are racing once again, and this time it is Poole who jumps out to the lead with McCord running in second spot.
Yeah, McCord on the outside there. I thought he might be one of the guys to watch early in this race because he had such a good starting position. And boy, he got a great jump. And look at Newman, though. He's on the outside of Brett Poole. That's a pretty tough pass to make down there in turn number 1.
And Newman goes into second, so it's McCord and Newman running first and second now with Brett Poole in the 3rd position as they complete another lap. Back in 4th is Brandon Petty, who started on the outside of row number 1.
he's kind of hanging in there right now, but as you can see, there's a lot. Oh, look on the outside. Gerster got out there, tried to get around Matt Jewell. You can see how loose the race car got. He had to duck back down under to the bottom of the racetrack. Oh, Brandon Petty gets very squirrely there going through one.
Jewell tried to take advantage of it, get to the inside, but he couldn't. Meanwhile, on the outside, that is Brian Gerster, and he's been trying to make that high line work. Oh, he's wheel to wheel there with Matt Jewell, but I believe that Gerster is going to pick up that position. Well, I spoke a little too soon. He hasn't made the pass completely, but boy, that's about the only place he can go.
That's a very difficult place to pass. He's been out there for about a lap and a half now, so he's really got that thing operating well to run out there as well as he has.
Meanwhile, it is still McCord leading the race with Ryan Newman running in second, and a big battle for third on back.
Boy, you can see that Gerster, he passed about 4 cars on the outside, so he's really got that handicap car operating, because that's a tough thing to do on this race.
Gerster is in third, and now the battle is for the transfer spot as the white flag comes out. Jewell and Poole are battling side by side. Oh, Jewell got a little sideways, losing several positions, and that's going to knock him out of an opportunity to transfer to the feature. Meanwhile, pretty good battle for the finish, although McCord wins it with Newman in second position. It is Gerster third, and fourth place will be Poole.
Yeah, he hung on for that pole position. He wasn't the fastest car on the racetrack, but he didn't make a mistake. That's a very, very key factor in this racetrack. If you run to the bottom of the racetrack and don't make a mistake, you're going to beat a lot of guys.
Well, Jason McCord, who hails from Anderson, Indiana, finished 6th in the last 2 years in USAC Sprint Car points, won his first main event last year at Anderson, and comes home in as the winner here in the third heat race. Time of the race, 1 minute 58 and 73 seconds, so that's a little bit off the track record, which remains 1:57.21 set in heat race number 1. Speeds considerably higher than they were here in '96, which was the last time that these USAC sprints visited.
Well, there have been a lot of new race cars built since 1996. All these cars are, I'd say 80% of them are built specifically for the pavement. That's made the difference.
There you go with the top 5, McCord, Newman, Gerster, Poole, transfer to the feature, and Brandon Petty and the others will go to the semi-feature. So we've completed all 3 of the heat races now. The semi-feature will be coming up in a few minutes, and we'll cap it off with a big 30-lap feature race a little bit later in the evening.
My name's Davey, and I want to tell you about my friend, Glitch. He's done some pretty dopey things, like rollerblading down a roller coaster. He even thought he could be a pro wrestler. Then he thought he could fly. And once, some kids tried to get him to do drugs.
Beat it! I've done some dopey things, but I'll never do dope.
Drug-free's the way to be.
We've heard your complaints about changing your oil filter, banging your knuckles, trying to grip that slippery filter. That's why Fram, America's #1 filter, now has Sure Grip, a rough textured top on our extra guard filter for easy gripping and installing. Only Fram has it.
It makes changing your oil filter a lot easier.
Fram oil filters. Pay a little more now or pay a lot later.
Circuit City's 50th anniversary sale is going on now. You'll get a free $50 gift card when you buy any 32-inch or larger TV, any camcorder $549 and up, and more. Like this Panasonic compact VHS camcorder with LCD screen and electronic image stabilization, now just $599.99 with a free $50 gift card. Our friendly sales counselors can help you out if you have any questions. So don't miss the savings at Circuit City's 50th anniversary sale, going on now.
The amazing power of Duracell Ultra.
Mike's towing, please hold.
Oh.
Cell phones get up to 100 more minutes of talk time. Duracell Ultra, with a concentrated power force to give more life to your high-tech devices.
Mike's towing, can I help you?
Hey, could you put me back on hold?
Duracell Ultra, more power, more life.
Heat race number 3 results. Jason McCord, Ryan Newman, Brian Gerster, Brett Poole, and in 5th position, Brandon Petty. Let's talk to Jason McCord. Here again is Gary Lee.
Well, first a question. Rice-A-Roni, when you were racing cars, the best way to keep your ride was to win, right? Now, for job security, Jason, who did you marry?
Actually, I married my car owner's daughter, Meredith. So
that's the way you keep a ride. Also, when you win the heat race, it also helps. You told me the outside groove is coming in. The more guys that kind of chance it out there, putting more rubber down, it should be good for the semi and the feature.
Yeah, it's getting better. I just kind of screwed qualifying up. We were actually one of the quickest cars in hot laps, and I don't know if I did it myself, just being impatient or what, but I was on and off the throttle too much, and it cost us, and now we're going to have to start at the back of the feature. But, it's one of the things. I think the outside's coming in better, which I'm going to need that starting as far back as I am. So, we'll just see what we can do. But, I need to thank my new sponsors, Hat World. We haven't got off to a rocket start this year, but it's getting better, and we'll be there. Hopefully, let's get some little coverage. And Payless Supermarkets, Roundy's, and Widener Chevrolet. And thanks to Freightliner for all the great support.
So what do you call your father-in-law's family gatherings? Boss or?
Yeah, boss or whatever. I just talked to my mother-in-law on the phone a little bit ago, and we've had some problems here at the track, and she's busy on the phone work for me, so I appreciate that. But tonight, when he sees where we're starting in the feature, he might call me something other than my son, other than his son-in-law.
He's happy right now. Amy, down the road to you.
Second place was with Ryan Newman, who's a familiar face with the midget, a familiar face with Silver Crown, but a new face to the Sprint Car Series. Is this going to be something we're going to see a lot of you in the future here?
Well, I'd like to think so. We're doing a one race-by-race deal with Ron Kohler, and it's a family-owned operation, so as you know, those go race by race, and we don't have a full-time sponsor to be able to go for the Stoops Freightliner Championship. But the USAC Series, the Sprint Car Series, is a blast to come here to Louisville and have the TV with us. It's great.
Well, I'm thinking Ron Kohler, didn't he take one heck of a spill at IRT last year on a Thunder? Maybe that's why he's not racing anymore and he's letting you in the car, right?
That's part of it, too. It started out back at Winchester. I've got a pretty good record at Winchester going, and he wanted me to drive a sprint car there. So after we got through that last Sunday, finished second, he says, let's go over to Louisville on Wednesday. So here we are.
All right, good luck. Keep it up.
Thank you.
Well, I want to turn your attention now over to third place, who's Brian Gerster. Now, Brian, you were stuck in that outside groove, but you made it work. Are you going to keep that set up and try to make those passes in the feature tonight up top?
We're going to have to try. The Hannon construction car was sticking pretty good on the outside. We're going to start on the outside lane due to where we qualified in the invert and everything. So, the group of guys we're going to have to pass to win this thing is going to be a lot tougher. But the main thing at this place is the lap traffic. I know we're going to get into some, and those guys get stuck maybe, and we can sneak around the outside, and that might be our chance to win it. So we'll just have to give it the best shot we can. We've been pretty close a couple times already this year. The car's been fast, so we'll do the best we can. We like Louisville, actually. These guys have trouble getting around here, and my midget owner's from down here, and I get the chance to race here a lot, so it's a lot of fun for me.
Sounds good. It's been a lot of fun for everyone at home. He's got an onboard camera that's given us some great shots in the heat race. We look forward to seeing him in the feature.
One time we thought maybe Brian's racing career was over, but he's bounced back from injury suffered in 1997. Watch Brandon Petty here coming down the front straightaway into turn one.
See, it's very easy to get into that corner too hard and on the brakes too hard. When you do, the car gets all sideways. Once it gets sideways the first time, it's very hard to get it back under control. This time he did, and he saved the position.
So Brandon Petty finished in 5th position in that third heat race. Well, the trucks are qualifying here at Louisville Motor Speedway. They're going to be doing some racing, but when we come back to Louisville Motor Speedway, we'll talk more with the stars of the Stoops Freightliner Sprint Car Series. That's our first race of Thunder 1999, and we'll be back with more in just a moment.
Your car doesn't look, doesn't feel, doesn't smell brand new anymore. The thrill is gone. Get it back with new vinyl. New vinyl conditions, restores, and protects vinyl and leather. You get a protective finish and a showroom feel that's so real, you can smell it. Want it back? That new car feeling? It's yours with new vinyl.
There's nothing like new vinyl, available at Rite Aid, True Value, Ace Hardware, Walgreens, Pep Boys, and other leading stores.
If you could accompany your data on this trip overseas, the experience would be alarming. Local carriers handing it to national carriers over to cable carriers until you don't know who has your data. Unless you send it through here with the one and only company that owns the entire network, local, national, and international. So you know who has your data. On net from MCI WorldCom.
Beefy, spicy bully. You're next, Pinky.
Step into a Slim Jim.
Eat me.
Meet Howard Johnson and his family. It's vacation time, so they stay at a hotel that has their name written all over it, where kids stay free and get free fun packs, all at a Howard Johnson kind of price. We've got a great name to live up to. Howard Johnson makes you feel at home.
ESPN Speed World coverage of the sprints at Louisville, being brought to you by Daytona USA, the official attraction of NASCAR. Well, the United States Auto Club has some races coming up. If you're within the area this weekend, stop in and see the Stoops Freightliner sprint cars at the Jan Opperman Classic. That's at Terre Haute on Saturday evening. The Western States Sprints and TQs are in action at Irwindale, California on Saturday, and the MCI WorldCom Western States Midget cars are in Hanford, California. Last week was a busy one for the USAC Stoops Freightliner sprint cars. There were 3 races and as many nights, and the very first one was in Attica, Ohio. Second quick qualifier Matt Jewell's night came to a spectacular end in his heat when he got too good a bite off of turn number 4 and flipped hard, but Matt was okay. How about some great side-by-side racing? 4 wide for a heat win are Tracy Hines, Hud Cone, Rusty McClure, and Roger Shadon. McClure in red is close, but give the heat win to Shadon. 4 wide didn't always work, though, as Todd Kane proved in the next heat when he and Greg Wilson got together, sending Kane for this wild series of flips. No one was hurt. At the start of the 30-lap feature, pole sitter Dave Darland gives way to the rim-riding Eric Gordon for the early lead. Bill Rose had moved to second when Jerry Coons in yellow made it 3 wide in the battle for the first position. A lap later, Coons finally secured the top spot. But it wasn't clear sailing for Coons, who was under attack from Rose and number 21 Kevin Thomas down low. The top group was just a little bit quicker, and Bill's momentum also helped him gain control on the 14th circuit. With Coons out of contention and with KT running second, third-place runner Tim Cox spun with 6 laps to go. Defending series champ Tony Elliott ended up on his head, and Kevin Doty scattered the infield photographers. Everyone was okay. No one could catch Rose, who picked up his second career USAC feature win.
We talked about a team that traveled 15 hours to come run Thunder tonight, and it's a team that consists of Kip Beard and Stan Butler. Kip, although you had a little bit of trouble in the heat race, tell me what happened.
I was just getting a little bit impatient behind the guy that was in front of me. He got a little sideways coming off the floor, or whatever turn that is. And I went to go under him, and I was sideways when I did it. Then I backed all the way out of the gas, and it just shot me right around. So now we're stuck running the semi. But I'm looking forward to it. But I need to thank GMS Motorsports for bringing us up here. I mean, I couldn't be more pleased to be up here on TV, you know. Trying to make him proud. Need to just thank Bob and Marge Gratton and my teammate Stan Butler for everything they've done for me. And we'll try to see if we can go out to the semi and win it.
That's right. And speaking of Stan, he also did not transfer through his heat race, but has the potential to be on the front row of the feature with his teammate Kip Beard if he can transfer through the semi. What was your trouble in that heat race?
Well, I qualified decent, so I started in the back. I don't really know these guys, so I didn't know where to go to pass them. And unfortunately, I kind of stayed back there.
Well, you're from Florida. Both of you come up. You run that TBAR A series. It's a winged sprint car series. Anything that you guys learned from running a wing down in Florida that you can apply to Louisville?
Well, not really. This is probably the strangest racetrack we've ever been on, but you know, with a wing, everything's so much different. But I've ran wings without wings a long time ago. So it's just a matter of this place. I think it's just being patient, being smooth, and hopefully the bottom lane opens up for you and you can make passes. We've got a decent starting spot in the Concy, so hopefully I can qualify, and Bob and Marge Gratton on the cars. They won't be too sorry they brought us up here.
Well, there is the potential for GMS Motorsports to be on the front row of tonight's feature if they can be patient and smooth in the semi.
Stan Butler, a veteran of sprint car racing for a long time down in the Florida area. He'll be starting third on the inside of row number 2 in the 12-lap True Value semi-feature, which is coming up before too long. We'll be back in just a moment to Louisville Motor Speedway.
Hi, I'm Bob Vila, and I want to show you another great innovation in Craftsman hand tools. It's the Craftsman Quick Wrench, exclusively from Sears. The Quick Wrench is a combination wrench with a unique open-end design that makes it work like a ratchet. An ordinary open-end wrench has to be removed and repositioned after every turn. But the Craftsman Quick Wrench stays in continuous contact, making the job faster and easier. And what about those places where a ratchet and socket won't fit? That's where the Quick Wrench really comes in handy. It's made to reach right into tight spaces, and the ratcheting action gets the job done in no time. The Craftsman Quick Wrench can be used almost anywhere, in the garage, in the yard, and in your home. No toolbox is complete without a Quick Wrench set. And because it's a Craftsman hand tool made in America, it's guaranteed forever.
Call now to order your set of 6 Craftsman Quick Wrenches in standard or metric for only $19.99 plus shipping and handling. Use your Sears card or other credit card and call 1-800-625-9944. Call right now.
Only ESPN Classic lets you pick what you want to watch Sunday nights. Just log on to ESPN.com on the Go Network and vote for the week's Classic Click and Pick event. This week, Click Choice 1 to see Bernie Perron fend off Bobby Orr's Bruins in the Flyers' 74 bid for the Stanley Cup. Click Choice 2 to see the birth of a new hockey hero when the Flyers tangle with the Islanders in an overtime thriller. Log on for even more classic Click and Pick choices. Then tune in Sunday at 7 to see this week's Classic Click and Pick game on ESPN Classic. To get ESPN Classic, call 1-800-CLASSIC now.
Well, Dave Darland is presently tied with Derek Davidson for the points championship. Derek, of course, was the Turbines Incorporated Fast Qualifier. That's what a shock looks like. Well, that's what it should look like. I have here in my left hand the shock that was on the right front of Dave Darland's car when he hit Denny England in that first heat race. You ran the entire heat race with this shock bent up, and now you have to go through the semi.
Yeah, it didn't work very good with that shock on there, and hopefully that was the only problem we had, so we're planning on being a little better in this B main, and hopefully everything goes all right.
We mentioned you're tied for the points championship. This is only one race, but a racetrack like this can really make a big difference in that points chase.
Yeah, sure can. You got to be hooked up good here, and you got to have a lot of luck. There's going to be a lot of wheel banging, and there's going to be a lot of action out there, so hopefully we can stay out of trouble the rest of the night.
You really can't use a lot of horsepower. You can almost put a block about halfway into that throttle so you don't use too much.
Yeah, it's easy to break the tires loose here. We've got a lot of horsepower under the hood, and it's hard to keep these tires hooked up out of the corner after coming out of a slow corner and then gassing it out of the corner. It breaks it loose pretty easy.
We're seeing the crew saying, come on, let's go. It's time to go racing. We'll let you go. Dave Darland.
Let's take a look again at how that shock got bent. And, Larry, how would that affect the performance of the car?
Well, you just absolutely, with no suspension, you absolutely cannot get any movement on that right front corner. That would make the car want to push very badly. And you can see right there, when that little tap, he tapped him. These are coil spring cars, most of these cars. And when you tap somebody like that, it just bent the shock. And you can see it was bent at like a 45-degree angle. The rest of that race, I have to tell you, I'm amazed that he ran as well as he did with that shock bent as badly as it was.
Well, he will start on the outside of row number 4 in the semi-feature, which is coming up here in just a few moments. Well, for the past 5 years, Eldora Speedway in Ohio and Winchester Speedway in Indiana, both near their respective state lines, have staged a 2-race series called Border Wars. And this year's edition began last Saturday night at the Ohio facility. At the start of the 30-lap feature at Eldora, teammates Tim Cox and Derek Davison occupied the front row, with Derek taking off to the early lead. Lap 9, big trouble. Jack Hewitt couldn't avoid hitting the slowing car of Rob Cheney, causing Jack to flip. The other yellow car is Kevin Thomas, who also became involved, hitting the wall cage first and continuing to tumble toward the infield, in part due to a stuck throttle. Despite the hairy ride, KT, last year's series runner-up, was okay, as was Hewitt. The same couldn't be said for his car. 1 lap after the restart, it was Brian Tyler's turn to flip. His car had pushed up into the fence, causing damage to both his car and his pride. Davidson would eventually lead every lap, although Tracy Hines in the black 97 made things rather close at the finish. For Derek, it was his second straight USAC sprint car win at Eldora this season. So that's how Derek Davison won his second race of 1999. They have both been at Eldora.
Yes, they have. Over the winter, we lost some dear friends, Chet Meiselwick and Bill Lipke, 2 longtime USAC promoters. They passed away over the winter. Tom Binford, the chief steward at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway from 1974 to 95. He also passed away, so we want to offer condolences to all of them. Bob Stoops, Jeff Stoops' father, who is the sponsor of this series, he passed away recently, so we want to offer condolences to him. Joe Swigert also had a loved one lost, and Ron Eskew, the USAC chaplain, his wife's mother recently passed away, so we want to say our condolences to you too. Casey Deemer, of course, he lost his life in a Western States sprint car crash recently, and his family also we want to offer our condolences to.
And as you can see, the cars are being shoved onto the racetrack for the start of the 12-lap semi-feature event, which will have 14 cars in it, and the top 10 will transfer to the feature race with the top 6 getting their time back. And that is a very important thing, because if you had a good qualifying speed, then you're going to start further up in the feature field.
It's going to make a big difference. Also want to say hello to Kenneth Nichols. He got hurt earlier out at Phoenix. He's doing very well, but we just want to say hello to him. Heather Janes, one of the people on our staff, her mom's in the hospital. Want to say hello to her. And also Tommy Lee of Power Steering fame. He had some valve trouble in his heart over last winter, and he's doing much better back at work building power steerings, and we want to say hi to him. Last note, happy birthday, Lois Vincent and Becky Sievers, both members of our staff.
That's right. Happy birthday. Robbie Rice is strapped in his sprint car and ready to go out there for some competition. Number 22 onto the racetrack. There is impending weather here. The forecast, as you saw in the early going, was for a 70% chance of rain tonight. And so we're kind of hurrying things along here so that we can show you a complete racing program. Right now, although the skies are clouding up, it doesn't look like the rain is imminent. But here in the Midwest, especially this time of year with a major cold front back to the west of us, it could happen at any moment.
Well, that's right. It has started to cloud up a little bit here recently, but if everything goes well and we don't have a lot of red flags or big crashes here in the semi-feature, we should be able to get the feature underway and not have too much trouble. They have gotten most of the cars underway. It looks like Brandon Petty and Robbie Rice are the last two cars sitting down there to be pushed off. So once those two cars are going, we probably are going to get things lined up and ready to go pretty quick.
This isn't our first visit to Louisville Motor Speedway, but we would like to thank everybody associated with the racetrack, including Andy Vertrees, for the hospitality they have shown us since we have come here this evening. So, with the cars almost lined up, ready to go, we will take a very quick break and be back with 12 more laps of racing, the True Value semi-feature. Stay with us.
We're here in this auto graveyard to demonstrate New Finish, the once-a-year car polish. Simply wipe it on, wipe it off. No rubbing, no buffing. New Finish restored a deep, hard shine even to this weather-beaten car. We polished this car with New Finish and ran it through 52 car washes. Even after heavy-duty detergents and powerful scrubbing, the water still beads. New Finish.
Available at True Value, Advance Auto, Pep Boys, AutoZone, Walgreens, Kmart, and other leading stores.
Hi, I'm Bob Vila, and this is Craftsman innovation at its best. RoboGrip pliers, the best-selling single tool in Sears history. Craftsman RoboGrip pliers are the world's first self-adjusting one-handed pliers. The jaws automatically adjust for a perfect fit. The Craftsman RoboGrip's offset head and unique interlocking steel jaws are designed for maximum gripping power.
The handle of the Craftsman RoboGrip pliers is ergonomically designed, so it's comfortable and easy to use. And like other Craftsman hand tools, RoboGrip pliers are guaranteed forever. Craftsman RoboGrip pliers work on faucets, pipes, hoses, or auto repairs. They're so versatile, you'll find hundreds of uses for them. You'll reach for them first every time. Innovation made these pliers the best-selling single tool in Sears history. There's just one more example of how Craftsman makes anything possible.
To order your Craftsman RoboGrip pliers, get your Sears card or other credit card ready and call 1-800-204-5577. Call now.
It's my 21st birthday. I had my first goal, mark across the ball, and it was right in front of my head. Somehow I managed to get it in the goal. It's pretty special. I'm Ben Olsen. Have you seen me?
See him Saturday, 4 p.m. on ESPN2.
The Coors Light Silver Billet Series is the new name of what was the Silver Crown division. Same cars, same stars, though, that we'll see a few times here on Thunder in 1999. This was the great battle between Ryan Newman and Brian Tyler at the opener, or rather the race in Phoenix.
Yeah, those two guys battled long and hard all day long, and eventually, look at your winner.
Brian Tyler visiting Victory Lane in Phoenix. The Coca-Cola 100 will be here as part of Thunder on May 22nd. That begins at 9:30 Eastern Time from Indianapolis Raceway Park. Okay, let's take a look at the starting lineup for the semi-feature. Denny England in car 84 is on the pole. Kip Beard alongside. Stan Butler is in row number 2 with Eric Gordon. The third row is Matt Boo and Matt Jewell. The fourth row, Robbie Rice, flanked by Dave Darlin. Row number 5, Bobby Smith in number 8 and Brandon Petty in 30. The sixth row, Gordon Rogers in 94 and Kevin Miller in 21. And in the seventh row, it's Ed Kinnons in 35 and John Toth in 96. 14 cars. The top 10 will go to the feature.
And there's Dave Darlin. He starts back outside of row number 4. That's 8th position. He's got to finish in the top 6 in order to get his qualifying time back. If he doesn't, he's going to have to go clear to the end of the field. Since this place is so hard to pass, it could mean a big deficit for his point standings if he can't get in that top 6.
Everybody getting into alignment now for the start of the 12-lap semi-feature. We will not go green this time, but the drivers will be given the one more lap to go signal.
There is the front row. That's Kip Beard on the outside. We just talked to him. Amy just talked to him a few minutes ago. But these guys came up here mostly to get a little practice, I think, for the Little 500. That's a big event every year there at Anderson Speedway. It draws people from all over the country. It's a big deal for these guys who run most of the pavement down in Florida. And they don't run without the wing a lot, so I think this is kind of a tune-up so they get a little head start on everybody else.
He is a regular competitor in the TBARA Tampa Bay Auto Racing Association and finished second in points last year. Green flag comes out. The 12-lap semi-feature is underway. Denny England jumped off to the early lead.
He got a great start, much better than I thought he might as he jumped out there. The cars from Florida, Kip Beard and Stan Butler running second and third right now. That's Eric Gordon in that maroon car trying to get under Stan Butler.
And Matt Boo running in the 5th position. There is the 21 of Gordon as he tries to take the position away from Butler.
Of course, Butler knows that all he has to do is finish in the top 6. He doesn't want to make any mistakes. But look at Matt Boo. He's going to try to stick his nose down on the inside. Eric Gordon looked to the outside and thought, no, I wasn't going fast enough. I got to tuck back behind him.
While Gordon tries to work on Butler, he has a lot of competition from the back from Boo. And look at Dave Darlin as he broad slides off the corner and tries to get into position, but just didn't have it. And he does pick up the spot from Matt Jewell. However, he's still got some cars to pass ahead of him.
Yeah, Matt Jewell actually has been, looks like one of the fastest guys out there. He's tried on the outside, right up here in the apex of this big D back there a couple of different times. Hasn't been able to do it yet, but he's running pretty quick to be on that outside at all.
Well, Darlin has to finish right there in 6th position in order to get his time back. And the number 96 car, John Toth, has stopped. However, he is in the infield and off the racetrack, so no caution. The racing continues. 6 laps now completed. We're halfway through.
There's a battle right back here between Matt Jewell and Dave Darlin, still one of the best on the racetrack. Now look at Eric Gordon on the outside as he really gives a tough challenge to Stan Butler, but Butler just squeezes back past him going down the main straightaway.
And once again, where Gordon is trying to get that outside line to work from him. He heads for the high side of the racetrack again down the back chute, but still just cannot get the momentum good enough to make the pass. So Butler holds off the challenge for now. Denny England continues to lead this race.
Yeah, and look at this. Gordon, once again, he really seems to be fast in this D portion of the racetrack, much faster than Butler is. But he doesn't have enough momentum right here. This is where he loses. He gets a little sideways right there and loses everything he gains all the way around that big D portion of the racetrack.
That is the battle for 3rd position, Butler and Gordon. Matt Boo running back into 5th spot. And Gordon now with a little bit better run down the straightaway, but still is not able to take away that position. Now he goes again to the outside.
Well, he gets a nice run all the way through there. Oh, he's gets the best shot he's had. He's all the way around. Now he's got to squeeze back down to the bottom. Looks like he's got it done.
And he does so as the white flag comes out. There's Denny England, who is over in approaching turn number 4 already, about to take the checkered flag, wrapping up the victory. Denny England is the winner. There's Kip Beard and...
Wow, Darlin went to the outside.
Oh, and Jewell smokes it in a little too hard as the checkered flag comes out and slides up toward the wall, but kept it off.
Well, that was a tough battle back there from about 5th through 7th position, 4th through 7th position. All those guys knew that they wanted to get in that top 6 in order to get their position back. I don't think Matt Jewell quite made it, although he gave it a heck of a try. Did he really?
As a matter of fact, he did, and Darlin did not. He finished 7th, so he will not get his time back. He will, however, have a position in the feature.
Well,
so he lost it there on the last opportunity.
Oh, yeah, Matt Jewell did. He got around him. Dave Darlin went a little bit high. I think he had visions of maybe getting around Matt Boo. But when he went that high, he gave that opening to Matt Jewell. And even though he spun, he did get that position. And that's a big, big break for him because it's going to move him way up in the starting positions come feature time.
And a real setback for the 69 car of Dave Darlin, who's going to have to start in one of the last 4 positions in the feature. There is young Matt Jewell as he is pushed back into the pit area.
Yeah, he's got his head off, or his hat off. He's ready to go back in there and get to working on that thing.
They're the top 5. Denny England the winner. Kip Beard finishes 2nd, followed by Eric Gordon, Stan Butler, and 5th place was Matt Boo. We'll talk to Denny England when we come back with more Thunder.
You change your oil every 3,000 miles, right? Don't, do you? You push it. Now you're so busy you try to squeeze another 1,000 miles out of your oil. Or more. Well, squeeze this. Just to do it yourself when you have the time. Reformulated Quaker State. Protection beyond 3,000 miles under any driving conditions. Anybody say insurance? It's been tested. And unlike that lazy uncle nobody really likes to talk about, it works. So go get some. Quaker State. Sensible technology. What more do you need to know?
All right, Tommy. You're looking at 10 to 15. Why don't you try and help yourself out? You looking at my cupcakes? Go ahead, take a bite. Atta boy. All right, now, we can do this the easy way, or we can do it the hard way.
Got milk? Maybe it's because we've been in business for over 160 years. Or because people have a special fondness for the color green. Or maybe it's just that no matter how old they get, they never seem to stop working. Whatever the reason, every day, people count on genuine John Deere equipment. Like the all-new LX lawn tractor, built to last and last. So if you own one John Deere, thank you. If you own 127, thanks again.
Jump into the water sports season 24 hours a day and visit bartswatersports.com to see over 5,000 water sport products pictured online. Bart's has the largest selection of wakeboards, water skis, boat accessories, and personal watercraft products for your 24-hour online shopping needs at bartswatersports.com or call for a free catalog, 1-800-348-5016.
This is the start of the semi-feature just a few minutes ago. The inside row 1 starter, Denny England, took off at the drop of the green flag and was never headed.
Yeah, he got a terrific start. He just pulled away from everybody. He's a guy that doesn't run a lot of USAC races, but every time he comes, he seems like he runs pretty well on the pavement.
Here are the top 5. England, Kip Beard, Eric Gordon, Stan Butler, and Matt Boo. Then finishing 6 through 10, and these are the guys that will go to the feature now. Matt Jewell finishes 6th, but after that, it's going to be Darlin, Rice, Smith, and Petty, the final 4 positions in the starting field for the main event. Let's go to Gary Lee, who's with Denny England.
A good race driver learns from his mistakes, and you admit you made a slight bobble there in your heat race, but not so in the semi.
Now, we had a real good qualifying setup, and then I kind of started messing with it in the heat, thinking, well, maybe I can make it better, but actually, I just made it a lot worse. So
you out-engineered yourself.
Yeah, sometimes, you know, drivers probably shouldn't touch the car. You should leave it up to the mechanic.
How has the track changed for you?
Well, I think it's cooled off a little bit, and now my particular car is getting actually tighter. But then we went back to our qualifying setup, which helped a lot.
Any changes now before the feature?
We just put new tires on it and hope for the best.
You like that outside second row starting position?
Sure do.
All right, there's Denny. Good show from the semi. Great show also from Eric Gordon. He's with Amy.
Eric Gordon watched the heat race where Brian Gerster was passing on that outside line and decided that that might be the way to pass in tonight's feature. Testing it out in the semi seemed to work great. Going to do the same thing in the feature?
We're going to have to. We didn't make the top 6 for the invert, so we're going to have to start behind the fast guys. And I've been trying to soften it up all night long, figure out what the car liked for the outside line, because it, like up at Anderson and the other short flat tracks, you have to find some place to pass, because there's only one guy that's going to start on the pole. Everybody else has to figure out a line to pass on. This place, you've always had to figure out the second line. If you set the car up perfect for the second line, you might be a hair tight on the inside line, but you can make it work. It's just a little bit of fine-tuning all night, and the Boo Brothers Stealth car is pretty close, and you know, I was off when it first got here, and I've been tweaking on it, and I think we'll be okay for the feature if we have a nice, clean feature.
I've always seemed to believe that with Louisville and talking to different mechanics and drivers that it's more of a setup as the tight turn, setting up your car for, or like the big sweeping turn, but you're just saying it's an outside line setup, so you're looking for it to carry momentum. Is that correct?
Yeah, you have to make this thing a big circle. I mean, it's so odd shaped. You're not going to have the straightaway speed like you do at IRP or at Winchester, and the corners won't really support the car, so you have to make the car go through the corner, and just trying to find that perfect balance. I mean, this is more of a mechanic's track than anything else, and the bad thing tonight is that you're looking at the mechanic too, but I've worked with some pretty good mechanics in the past who've showed me a lot here, and hopefully I'll be able to take some of that and apply it tonight.
Okay, he's doing double duty. He's going to soften it up a little bit and look to see Eric Gordon running the high line around Louisville in the feature.
As we anticipate many doing so in the feature event coming up. Well, here's some action from previous Thunders. Rough and tumble action, and we've had a relatively mild race so far here tonight. Let's hope we don't see any of this stuff in the feature coming up here at Louisville.
Yeah, this is a big one here. That was Ron Kohler, the car that Ryan Newman now drives. He was the guy in that car, and boy, he took a tough one.
No injuries in that, no serious injuries in that crash. Back with more from Louisville in a moment.
The X Games. The only extreme event that matters. The X Games, June 27th to July 5th. Presented by Adidas.
Tell you CD2's intense chemistry helps give their cars the edge.
Intense chemistry.
Intense performance.
CD2.
Lycos, go get it. Unleash the new Lycos, and no matter what you're looking to retrieve from the internet, Lycos will hunt it down quicker and easier. Lycos, go get it. Nice shot.
Our next three Thunders will show you the variety that will bring you during the year at Indianapolis Raceway Park. The Coors Light Silver Bullet Series, formerly the Silver Crown Division. That's at Indianapolis Raceway Park. Then we'll move to Anderson Speedway. The Tyson 50, Jason McCord, the winner last year. The sprint cars on that quarter-mile racetrack. It was his first win in USAC competition. And then the night before the 500 featuring the USAC Midgets, always one of the most prestigious races on the calendar at Indianapolis Raceway Park on the 29th of May. The Coca-Cola 100 is on the 22nd. That will be at 9:30 here on the Deuce. Then the Tyson 50 for the Stoops Freightliner Sprint Cars on May 26th at 9 o'clock. And then the night before the Indianapolis 500 at May 26th at 9 o'clock. For more, log on to ESPN.com, part of the Go Network, go.com. All right, Gary Lee can talk to a couple of competitors this evening.
Yeah, our Turbines Incorporated Fast Qualifier. We heard from her earlier, Derek Davidson, and also the third Fast Qualifier. We made sure he had no sponge in the vicinity, Brian Gerster. And you came down here, Derek, and tested, and that makes a big difference.
Yeah, it does. When we unloaded, when we were testing, we were pretty slow. And it took us all day, basically, to dial the car in. So if we'd have come down here and not had testing, you know, we'd probably qualify 20th or you know, 15th or something. But testing definitely paid off for us.
Now, you start on the inverted. The top 6 get inverted. You start outside the 3rd row, so you've got some traffic in front of you, including this guy right over here as we swing over to Brian Gerster, who qualified 3rd fast on the inversion. You start outside the 2nd row. You said for you in the heat race there was an outside group because you were passing some slower guys. But once the race begins, you challenge these guys in front. It's going to be real tough to pass outside.
Yeah, I mean, it was maybe just a little bit easier. You know, on the invert, there's still some good cars, but we were, you know, those guys were slower than us in qualifying, so it made it a little easier to get by on the outside. Passing, you know, the guys that are running up front is going to be a little more difficult, but the key thing for us is, you know, get somebody hung in traffic behind one of those slower guys when we catch them. Maybe we can keep them pinned in there and pass the guy that way, and that's what we're going to have to try to do.
There's an old saying in racing, you have to go slow to go fast, and this is a prime example on this racetrack. You can't light it up and get the rear end loose. You can't go in too hot and let the front end wash out. You have to be very patient.
Yeah, this is an awful tough little racetrack for these sprint cars. I know they run a Craftsman Truck Series race here too, and I know it's got to be incredibly difficult for those guys. So we got a lot of horsepower, and Sam Jones does our motors, and you know we need to about detune these things. They're so powerful. Derek's been winning the dirt races at Eldora, so you know we got good motors, but and we were fast at Winchester, so this isn't a place we need that motor, but we're glad we got it, and we'll just have to use our right foot and try to tame it.
Derek, we've talked to you in the past. I know you are interested in going after that championship, and coming to this race, you were tied with Dave Darland. He's had a miserable night so far, and he's going to be way at the back of the pack, so obviously a good steady ride on your part could really help in the points. Yeah,
it would. You know, we'll just see what happens. We can't really worry about points. You know, if you start racing for points, you're not gonna win races, and then you're not gonna pad the lead if he has a bad night. So, you know, we're just gonna go out there and race, and I'm just gonna try to pass the guy that's in front of me, and then just if I get around him.
I hope he doesn't do that.
Wait a minute, I'm not gonna get between these two guys again. So you got Derek starting outside row 3 and Brian starting outside row 2 in the feature coming up shortly.
And Derek is the only, we drove through 3 names out of the hat for the Wins Challenge. Derek is the only eligible driver, right?
Yes, there are requirements. They have to have the patches on their uniforms. They have to have the decals on their cars. Obviously, he's the only one that did that, so it's going to be his $1,000 if he can win this race.
Well, Derek, as we showed you, was the winner of the first race in the Border Wars. That was held at Eldora Speedway last Saturday night. The next day, they were at Winchester on the High Bank paved track for the final race of that 2-race series. Perhaps the wildest ride of the day was not in the sprints, but in the supporting Baby Grand Series. Everyone was okay. On to the sprints now as pole sitter Brian Gerster gives way to Ryan Newman for the early lead. Just 5 laps in, and guess who? Winchester Sprint Car Dominator Dave Steele is ready to show his stuff again. New track record holder Brian Tyler got together with Billy Puterbaugh Jr., sending Tyler spinning wildly down the front stretch and into turn number 1. He escaped the crash uninjured and gave the thumbs up to Puterbaugh. Steele only had to worry about lap traffic as he picked up his 4th straight USAC Stoops Freightliner Sprint Car win at the historic facility. And, of course, both races are considered in the final standings. The winner was Tracy Hines, who accumulated 121 points in the 2 races. Derek Davidson 2nd, then Dave Darland, Steve Cerniak, Tony Elliott, and Brian Gerster finished tied for 5th in points. Well, let's talk to the guy who won at Winchester last Sunday, Dave Steele. Here's Amy.
By far, Dave Steele has been nothing but Mr. Winchester, and I know you'd like to add Louisville to your list of accomplishments so far this season. Any tricks up your sleeve for the feature?
It's hard to say. It's you know, we made quite a few changes. It's a slick racetrack, by far a lot different than Winchester. You know, we made some changes. Bobby's is helping us out. My car owner Johnny Vance always gives me a good car, so you know, I think we'll be in good shape.
When you say you make some changes, I know Eric Gordon said that he was trying to soften up his car. He likes that outside line. He's looking for momentum. What kind of changes have you made to your sprint car? Let's get a little specific here, Dave. Give us the info.
Basically, we did the same thing, softened up the car, mainly the right rear corner, to try to get some bite. You know, the second groove is looks like that's where you're going to have to pass. So it's slick up there, so you're going to have to get the car to hook up there. So we're going to try that and see if it works.
Well, we look forward to you making quite a few passes. He'll be starting in row number 3. He wins at Winchester, and he'd love to win here tonight.
And we have more racing coming up here on ESPN, actually on ESPN, Saturday at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. The Memphis 200 for the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series. Marty Reed and Benny Parsons will have the call of that race, with Amy East, of course, in the pits. So that's at Saturday at 3 o'clock, the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series at the Memphis 200 on the 3/4-mile track, where Ron Hornaday is the defending champion.
The winning spirit award tonight goes to the slowest 2 qualifiers in the tonight's feature race. That'll go to Steve Cerniak and to Brandon Petty. They're the slowest 2 in the race tonight, and so they get the winning spirit award.
You can see the track is being readied for the 30-lap feature, which is coming up here before long. Robbie Rice had a qualifying run here this evening that wasn't particularly impressive, but again, this kid is visiting Louisville Motor Speedway for the first time, and this is a tough place to get around, even if you're a veteran.
Well, this has been a very tough place for a young guy to come, and just because of the patience that it takes, and this car has very few laps on it, so I think he'll learn in time.
Let's talk to him, Gary.
Well, you're looking at a smashed rear bumper, and Rice says, how much is that going to cost me? Hey, before we talk about this racetrack, you went to Winchester. Right now, you're 8th in the point standings, ran Winchester. Your thoughts of the big half mile?
Actually, it was kind of fun. You know, the high banks were something that I've always been intimidated by, and the first time there, we had a little problem with the car and ended up in the fence and smashed back the car, and we went there Sunday and qualified at a 15.2, which isn't terribly bad, and ran a feature and got 30 laps of experience, and we're ready to go back.
What did the old man tell you as far as advice? Anything?
Oh, before the feature, we put a full load of fuel, and he told me it'd be a little skaty the first couple acts to be careful, so.
That's all he said?
Yep, that's all he said.
Did he help set the car up?
Oh, no. We'd leave him. We just set him there for publicity reasons.
You run better when he's not around.
Oh, that's not true. You know, we just work as hard as we can and take what we can get, and tonight we've just had all sorts of trouble. The push truck smashed in the back of the tank, and I know my dad's not going to be too happy about that, but it wasn't my fault. And the motor tonight, it's running real hot, keeping out a lot of water, and we're just trying to get that figured out and try to get through the night.
And you've got a long way to go. You made the feature, but you're way at the back of the pack.
Yeah, we're starting next to the point leader, Dave Darlin, in the 10th row. So me and Dave's got our work cut out for us tonight. So hopefully we can hook bumpers and get our way to the front and contend for hopefully a top 10 tonight.
Well, your dad's not talking through my headsets to you, but I'll just tell you, be patient, take your time, use your head.
Gotcha.
Well, despite the fact that he's your son, he's a nice young guy. And he won a championship last year, too, didn't he?
Yes, he did. He won the championship on a little dirt track there in Indiana, Lincoln Park Speedway, and he wanted to give this pavement stuff a try, and so we got a pavement car owner out of Philadelphia, Johnny Annuzzi, and he gave him a chance.
Okay, before too long, we'll be underway with the 30-lap feature race here at Louisville Motor Speedway as the first race of Thunder 99 continues.
There's been a lot of talk recently about the all-wheel drive Subaru Forester. First, Consumer's Digest named it a Best Buy in the SUV category. Then Money Magazine said the same. And the AAA, they called the Subaru Forester the top SUV under $25,000. As for our customers, well, their comments can be summed up in one short word. See what everyone's talking about and test drive the Subaru Forester. Sport utility tough, car easy.
The word is about, there's something evolving. Whatever may come, the world keeps revolving. They say the next big thing is here, that the revolution's near. The To me it seems quite clear that it's all just a little bit of history repeating.
Three things that you got to remember when you're shining the cup. It's this: wax on, wax off, wax on. That was a trick question. You don't leave the wax on. There'd be a buildup.
Back at Louisville Motor Speedway, on board with Brian Tyler as he gets the car ready to race here in the 30-lap feature. Before the competition started, we asked several drivers about the setup, how they attacked this 7/16-mile racetrack at Louisville.
Looks like it's going to be tough to pass. When we were here testing, it was pretty difficult to get around by myself, let alone trying to pass.
I don't know what track you'd compare it to. It's kind of a track of its own. You know, you really got to finesse the throttle around here. You really got to watch tire temperatures and stuff, make sure you don't have the car too loose or too tight so you don't smoke the, the right front off or the right rear.
Louisville, it's like you're turning all the time. It's going to be a very hard place to pass tonight. Looks about the only passing points will be in turn 1, so hopefully you can get a good drive off turn 4 down the front stretch and get under somebody. So you look for a pretty nose-to-tail feature, and hopefully we can get this beast working and get up front.
I'd say Ocala, Florida's pretty close to this racetrack, but this is still kind of a funny-looking place.
This is my first time to the track, and the guys have been here a couple times that work on my car, so hopefully they know a little more than I do right now.
I think we're still looking for a good setup. It's really tough to get a hold of this place. It's a strange shape and really not a lot of grip on the track surface. So, we got a baseline set up, but I'm sure we're going to have to, adjust accordingly, just kind of fine-tune the car a little bit tonight.
That was before they started racing, and I think if we ask them right now, they would still say, I have no idea.
Well, some of them do and some of them don't. The guys that do have an idea, like David Steele, we just saw in the background there from that in-car shot with Brian Tyler. I think he's got a pretty good idea of what he wants to do here. He's going to be very, very difficult to beat on this racetrack. Brian Tyler starts back in 10th. He should be the most exciting guy coming through traffic.
Well, the 1065th USAC Sprint Car Race is about to get the green flag. Here's the starting lineup. Stan Butler will be on the pole in 61B, and Kip Beard, his teammate, alongside in 61. The second row, Denny England in number 84 and Brian Gerster in 26, carrying one of our onboard cameras. Dave Steele starts inside row 3, along with Derek Davidson. Then Eric Gordon in number 21 and Matt Boo in 73. The fifth row will be Matt Jewell in number 18 and Brian Tyler in 75 with another onboard camera. Tony Elliott starts inside of row number 6 along with Ryan Newman. In the 7th row, Brad Armstrong in 99 and Tracy Hines in 51. The 8th row, Jason McCord in 4C and Scott Hull in 5T. The 9th row, Steve Cerniak in 1S and Brett Poole in 9. The 10th row, Dave Darlin in 69 and Robbie Rice in 22. And Bobby Smith and Brandon Petty will start in the last row. A recalculation of the points. In the standings right now, it's Derek Davidson with 255, Darlin with 246, and Tyler with 229. And you're right, that the fact that Darlin did not finish in the top 6 of that semi has really hurt him, putting him way back in the next to the last row.
Yeah, it's going to be a real chore for him to get through this traffic and get up front. It's going to get Derek Davidson a huge chance to gain on him.
Okay, guys, back in the pits. You're the experts. Who's going to win? Lee?
I predict we'll get the race in before it rains, and I'll be the first to talk to the winner.
There's a real prediction out on a limb. Okay, Amy, help us out here.
Well, I really like Kip Beard from the front row. He's a young kid. He can muscle a sprint car down in Florida. I think it's going to be tough starting up front tonight.
Yeah, I think these two guys that are up front are going to be very difficult given their experience on pavement and the fact that they're starting up front.
Well, I'm going to go with the guy that's won twice this year. I still think that David Steele, starting inside of row 3, is going to be very, very difficult to beat. He's very patient, he's very calculating, and I think he'll get his way through there. I think the other guy to watch, like I said earlier, is Brian Tyler. He starts 10th, but he seemed to have that outside groove and had that car working really well. And luckily, we're going to be able to ride along with him in our CarQuest in-car cameras.
This is the 40th USAC race in the state of Kentucky. The first USAC race in this state was in 1960. Okay, well, they're going to go at least one more time before we get the green flag. 30 laps of competition here this evening. Stan Butler and Kip Beard, both from Tampa, Florida, occupy the front row with Denny England and Brian Gerster back in row 2, then Steele and Davidson in the 3rd row. And Yeah, I think if you were looking for a winner, you might look to that third row. It could be either Steele or Davidson. Gary?
Well, Stan Butler told me, yeah, he's prepping for the little 500, but he plans on coming back this summer and running a lot more USAC competition. So it's good training, and keep an eye on this guy.
All right, let's see if we get a good clean start here as the green is about to come out and the 30-lap feature at Louisville Motor Speedway underway.
Well, Stan Butler got a terrific start, and that's going to get him the lead, and it's going to be tough to beat him. As Amy said, that from that front row, it's going to be very, very difficult. But look at on the outside, Davidson hangs out there and runs the whole first lap on the outside of the track.
Yeah, Brian Gerster has fallen into third position. England is in fourth spot as the lead continues to be held by Butler. And back here, some really good side-by-side wheel-to-wheel racing. That is
Brian Tyler. He's on the outside. He's already passed 2 or 3 guys in that outside group. It looks like he's pretty well got that thing figured out there. And if he can stay out there and do that, he's going to be very tough. Uh-oh. Doesn't want to let Ryan Newman get to the inside too often, though.
Newman trying to get his nose to the inside, but Brian Tyler slams the door and won't let that happen. Meanwhile, Dave Steele is also using the high line to try to pick up positions. A good battle up front now as we have Butler being challenged by his teammate Kip Beard on the outside, and Gerster is on the inside, making it a 3-car battle.
Yeah, now he's got to make that pass. If he doesn't, he's going to lose second. That's the chance you take when you move to the outside. If you don't make it, you're probably going to get freight trained, and it looks like right now, oh, he did so. Great job by Kip Beard. He got back down to the bottom as he kind of squeezed Gerster a little bit. He made him run a little bit lower than he really wanted to, and when he did, Gerster just couldn't get around and had to fall behind him.
2 Florida guys remain out front. Gerster third. Back there in fourth position, Dave Steele is trying to get to the inside of England. Meanwhile, up front, it is still a good side-by-side battle. Beard makes another challenge of Butler to the outside. These guys are teammates. They've driven all the way from Tampa, Florida, and they're showing the way right now, running side-by-side with Gerster, wondering where he should go.
Well, Kip Beard doing a great job. He's doing just like Tyler. He can't quite get it down that main straightaway. Through the big arcing part of the race course, he does a good job, and he's faster. But right down there in that little there he gets sideways, and that's going to cost him a little bit, but he hangs on the second spot.
Yeah, I was surprised that he held on to second. Normally a slide of that magnitude when you're running so close will drop you a couple of positions, but he only drops back to second. Now there is Dave Steele in the black number 2, running right behind Denny England, and Brian Tyler has also made his way up through the field. He's running the outside behind Derek Davidson in the 62.
Yeah, he's tried several times to get by on that outside. He's done a good job, but boy, it's a long way to the front from back there, and he just hasn't been able to quite make it around. He's tried inside and outside. Now then he's going to go back to the inside.
We're on board with Brian Tyler as he looks to Derek Davidson up there in the red car to his right. Meanwhile, it's still Stan Butler and Kip Beard doing battle for the lead of the race. Beard has mounted another challenge after getting sideways and losing a few feet, but now has come right back up to challenge on the outside. Steele has moved to third around Denny England, and now watch Dave Steele close in on the top 3.
Closing in and passing are 2 completely different ball games here. Denny England did a great job holding Steele back there for a long time. Now that Kip Beard, once again, that's where he's the fastest, getting into that big arcing part of the race course, but he can't take advantage of it. He needs to be able to get up the side of Stan Butler and beat him into that straightaway, and he just can't quite do that.
Stan Butler, the leader, a TBARA Series regular, collecting a win in March at Ocala. He was 5th in points in the series last year with 3 wins to his credit, and Stan holds the record of having the most starts in the history of the very prestigious Little 500, which is held in Anderson, Indiana, each month of May.
The only time I ever ran the Little 500, I was Stan Butler's teammate, believe that or not.
Good battle between Matt Jewell in the 18 and Brian Tyler in the 75. Jewell, the youngster, is holding off. Oh, and Brian, and there's car up in the wall.
That's David Steele.
David Steele has crashed.
Oh,
climbing out, but he has crashed the car.
What a tough break, and he made some heavy contact. You can see the left rear and the left front both took heavy damage. The bumpers bent all the way into that tail tank, so he took some heavy damage when he got into that fence on the outside.
Well,
And,
and he's pointing at Eric Gordon as Gordon goes by. He had worked up to 4th place and was doing fine, but on the 15th lap, the 16th lap of the race, he crashes in the backstretch. Let's take a look at what happened.
Well, he's running in 4th position. Eric Gordon gets down to the inside of him, going through that tri-oval. Looks like he just got down into the grass. I just don't think there was enough room there. Eric had the left front down in the grass, trying to miss him, but there just wasn't enough room for them both to get in that same spot, really.
From Brian Tyler's onboard camera, we'll look up ahead and see what happened. He's going to have to drive through it. There's the contact, and there is Tyler getting sideways because he knows there's trouble up ahead.
Yeah. Once you unset these cars, once you get out of the throttle, when you've got that back end set, it's very, very difficult to keep them under control. And you can see when he got out of the throttle, the back end jumped out from under him.
It's the walk that no driver wants. The long walk back to the pit area. Dave Steele's race is over. It ends up against the outside wall in the backstretch. 16 laps out of 30 are completed here at Louisville Motor Speedway with Stan Butler leading. We'll be right back.
It's party time. Hot tubs everywhere will be overflowing. Make sure your deck can take the heat with Thompson's Wood Protector. For rain, sun, mildew, it's the most powerful Thompson's yet. Thompson's Wood Protector. It never takes a day off.
New grill guard, Steve? I like it.
Thanks, Sally. I got it at Pep Boys. Hey, Sally, how about my chrome rims? Step bars, bug shield, tires, and wheels. Hey, Sally, hear that? Performance exhaust.
Love accessories? Pep Boys has thousands of them to improve your vehicle, if not your luck.
Hey, Sally! Sally!
Sally moved. Hey, nice tow hitch.
Pep Boys.
Cars like us. People love us.
16 laps completed. We're under caution here at the top 5. It's Stan Butler, Kip Beard, Brian Gerster, Eric Gordon now 4th, and Ryan Newman is 5th. Let's ride on board with Brian Tyler in real time and see his perspective of this incident.
You can hear the throttle. See when he gets out of the throttle, that's when that thing jumps sideways. He saw all that happening, but you're running so fast and so far sideways at that point. Boy, any little adjustment you make with the steering wheel really costs you.
Well, that was Dave Steele going up into the wall. Amy, we talked to him a few minutes ago. Unfortunately, we have to again.
You're exactly right, Bob. I have a very disappointed Dave Steele, a very mad and upset Dave Steele. What happened out there?
It's just, you know, this track, there's a lot of tight racing out there, and, you know, you got to be able to keep off the guy in front of you or behind you or whatever, and that didn't happen. Got together a car out there, ended up in a fence.
You know, I have to ask you, is part of letting off your steam making that long walk back to the pit? Because you jumped out of that sprint car so fast. I was wondering if maybe, you know, you were hurt, but you're just mad, aren't you?
It's just disappointing. I mean, I think we had a, you know, a car capable of winning. It's just, you know, you really got to bide your time here. And if you don't have patience, then you'll end up getting together with somebody like that. So, I don't know, just disappointing day for us.
Well, it was a disappointing night for Dave Steele, but, you know, that's Louisville. Tyler said at the top of the show, it's a bump and run kind of track, and we're seeing that tonight.
So the Johnny Vance Racing Aristocrat Products Beast will need some repair. Fortunately, Dave Steele will not.
Yeah, he's all right, but he's a little bit upset. It's just, there they are, putting the car down in the infield, and it's going to take a little time, a little effort to put that thing back together again.
All right, ready to go back to racing. 16 good laps are completed. Still, it is Stan Butler up front. Kip Beard running in 2nd position. Brian Gerster is the challenger, running to the inside of the racetrack while Beard stays to the outside. Beard gets a little bit sideways once again, coming out of turn number 4, and Gerster gets 2nd.
Well, the tires are cold. After that yellow flag, the tires were cold. Kip Beard went outside very quickly, and when he didn't make it, he gave that inside groove to Brian Gerster, and Gerster took advantage of it.
So put Beard back.
Oh, look at this, look at this. Oh, they touched wheel. Gerster just kind of moved him over a little bit. Not quite enough, though. Boy, he gave it a heck of a try right there, but Butler did exactly what he had to do.
Eric Gordon running 4th, and Ryan Newman is up to 5th position, that black number 10. So Gerster now tries to get by Stan Butler as the battle for 3rd now begins to heat up with Eric Gordon to the inside, Beard to the outside, and Beard's tires are heating up, and he's not as successful as he was earlier.
Yeah, once you get on the outside, he's going to get freight trained here. There's about 5 or 6 cars right in a line, and they're all going to get by him before he can get back down to the bottom of the racetrack. Look at this, though. Gerster moves to the outside. He doesn't have any choice because Eric Gordon is all over it. Now, if he gets out there and he doesn't make it work, he's going to be, oh, look at this.
Oh, and Eric Gordon crashes, and another car is into the wall.
Yeah,
I believe that's Beard, isn't it?
Yeah, I think you're right. It is Beard. Eric Gordon could not make that pass. He hit the right front on the left rear of the car in front of him, and when he did, he got on the brakes, and he just took off towards the wall, and he hit the wall pretty hard, well, hard enough to take him out of the race.
So 2 cars, Kip Beard and Eric Gordon, end up on the outside retaining wall, causing the second caution of the evening. Beard is going to climb out of his car okay, and so is Gordon. So both drivers are all right, but their cars have suffered a bit of damage here. And a real tough break for Kip Beard, who was running so well, especially in the early going. Here's a replay of what happened.
Gerster really works on the outside. He really tries to get a run, but Gordon gets down to the inside. He sees that he doesn't have quite enough room. He bumps into Gerster, and when he did, I think he broke something in the steering, and that thing just turned to the right and went right to the wall. And poor old Kip Beard, I think he just was in the wrong place at the wrong time and got caught up in all that.
Here it is from another angle. It's a wonder that Gerster didn't crash. He got sideways but hung on. There is Gordon up into the wall, and Beard gets turned around and also goes up and bumps with the back end of the car.
Yeah, this will be from the in-car camera on board with Brian Tyler. You can see up there, that's where the accident started. And he just goes, oh, Kip Beard got up and over the car in front of him. That was the problem he had. And he's lucky he didn't get upside down because he's pretty far up in the air.
So more damaged equipment to get off the racetrack before we resume the competition. 20 laps have now been completed, so we've got 10 to go when we resume the competition here. But for right now, we're under caution as the yellow is out. Stan Butler, Brian Gerster, first and second, followed by Ryan Newman. Derek Davidson now moves to fourth, and Tyler is up to fifth spot. We'll be right back.
Twist it, turn it, any way you want it, anywhere you want it to go.
Goes where you want it.
Move it up high, baby, you can move it down low.
Stays where you put it. The flexible shower massage from Teledyne Waterpick.
Get up, get down. Hang tight, hang loose. Out back in the sun.
Life in the outback isn't all fun and games. After all, sometimes we have to eat.
Outback Steakhouse, no rules, just right.
Outback Steakhouse. No rules, just right.
Back at Louisville Motor Speedway, I'm Bob Jenkins, along with Larry Rice, Amy East, and Gary Lee, as we get set to resume the competition. We've got 10 laps to go in the feature. There are the top 5, Butler, Gerster, Newman, Davidson, and Tyler, as the green is about to fly once again. Here we go.
Let's watch the car in third place, Ryan Newman. He's come all the way from 12th to 3rd position. He could be the guy that can sneak in there and win this thing because he's gained a lot of spots already. Oh, look at this. Gerster's on the outside again.
Gerster trying to make that high line work. It has on a couple of occasions this evening, but really it seems like the low line is still the place to be. Now Newman tries to get inside of Gerster in the battle for 2nd position. Can't do it. That's Brian Tyler back there working in the 5th spot, trying to get to the inside of Davidson.
Yeah, you can see everybody trying to sneak under Butler. Butler's an old veteran. He's not going to give him the inside. If you want to go around me, boys, it's the long way around.
And another crash as a car spins. That is the number 73 machine driven by Matt Boo, who started up in the 4th row. I don't think he hit anything, just got sideways.
Yeah, it looks like he's, that's turn number 1. That's the place where we've had a lot of the excitement here tonight. What happens down there in turn number 1, as we saw with Eric Gordon? You try to sneak in there, you're not up quite far enough, and then you bump wheels with somebody. That causes you usually to spin like he did. Unfortunately for Eric Gordon, his car turned the other way and went out into the wall, and he had heavier damage.
Well, the track crew, I must say, is working very quickly here at Louisville Motor Speedway, getting these cars off the racetrack so we can get back to racing. Here is a replay of this incident. They're too deep back here.
Yeah, you can see he just got a little bit sideways. Tony Elliott hit him pretty hard, but everybody else got around him luckily, but he just got in a little bit too hard, and he got hit by Tony Alley. And you can see the sparks flying as he's done some damage. Oh, he's got a flat left front tire. That's the problem. The body work, these cars sit so low to the ground that if you puncture a tire, then it's going to rub, and that's what's happened. The belly pan is dragging because of that flat left front tire, and it looks like they're going to black flag it because of all the sparks he's throwing.
Yeah, the USAC officials are trying to get him off the racetrack. Well, we got 8 laps to go. Can Stan Butler hang on to the lead? He's held it all the way. He has never won in USAC competition. Let's talk to his car owner, Amy.
Well, Bob Gratton, that's the G in the GMS Motorsports. You have got to be feeling some mixed emotions right now. You guys traveled 15 hours to come up here. Stan is leading. Kip just had an unfortunate accident a couple laps back. What's your thoughts on Louisville so far?
Well, it's a pretty tough track. We had trouble qualifying. Stan's doing a wonderful job. I'd like to thank Weld Wheels, Pro Shocks, and Northside Propane out of Florida for helping us be up here, and ESPN.
Bob, your interest has just come into the USAC divisions here in just this year. I understand you're also going to have a Silver Crown car we may see on our next Thunder telecast.
Right, we should be at Raceway Park in May with the Silver Crown, and also back for USAC at Anderson.
All right, well, I'm going to let you watch Stan here as he's got 8 laps until we're going to see a checkered flag here.
Yep, 8 laps to go, and we're just about to go back to racing. Gerster second, then Newman, Davidson, and Tyler. Those are your top 5 positions as the green flag waves once again. 8 to go. And look at Newman, still trying to get to the inside of Gerster.
Yeah, it looks like he might have it done this time. He's forced Gerster to the outside. That's Derek Davidson, the other car. Those are Team Red cars there. Both those guys battling up here, trying to challenge for that lead. Wow. And right now, Gerster looks like he might have the best shot at it.
Good side-by-side racing all the way around the racetrack, and Gerster has taken the lead.
Now then, it's going to be tough to beat him. He's been challenging and challenging. Once you get in front, it's going to be very, very difficult to beat him now.
And Ryan Newman trying to take over second position from Butler. He's going to decide to go to the outside. That's where Gerster made it work, so maybe that's where Newman could also find the opportunity to pass. Meanwhile, Davidson and Brian Tyler are breathing on his heels.
Yeah, now right here is where he's got to do it. He's got to get around him before he gets to this next corner. If he gets up, he can't do it. He's going to have to fall back in line. You got to do it before you get to that last 4th corner. You got to get around him back there in the middle of the other corner.
Watching the battle for 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Here's Newman to the inside, and he gets it.
Yeah, and you can see Stan Butler close the door very quickly before Derek Davidson can get in there. He did a nice job preserving that 3rd place.
So now it's Brian Newman second, and Davidson has taken 3rd from Stan Butler. So Butler's falling back here in the late going. Here comes Brian Tyler around, and now Matt Jewell will try also in the 18. Oh, nice move by Matt to the inside.
Yeah, Stan Butler has a problem. I don't know what's gone wrong, but here with these last couple of yellow flags, he's definitely had a problem, and he's going straight backwards.
Here's Brian Gerster coming around to take the white flag. 1 more lap to go at Louisville Motor Speedway. Gerster looking for his first USAC sprint car win. He's less than a half a lap from victory here, and it looks like, yes indeed, Brian Gerster wins at Louisville, the winner of the 1998 Jimmy Carruthers Award, who made a brilliant return to racing after suffering life-threatening injuries at the end of 1997. Comes home a winner here tonight. Gerster is your winner at Louisville Motor Speedway. Brian Newman finishes in 2nd position. Well, a great race, and we'll be back to talk with the winner in just a moment when we come back for more USAC Stoops Freightliner action.
In the soul of every Bridgestone Potenza lies the twists and turns of the legendary Formula One Grand Prix courses of the world, the ultimate proving grounds of tire technology. Using a tapered tread element derived from the Potenza Racing Rain tire, the Potenza RE 910 Street tire handles the road wet or dry. Made with Unity, Bridgestone's ultimate tire technology. Bridgestone Potenza, technology-driven performance used on every Grand Prix course of Formula One.
We're here in this auto graveyard to demonstrate New Finish, the once-a-year car polish. Simply wipe it on, wipe it off. No rubbing, no buffing. New Finish restored a deep, hard shine even to this weather-beaten car. We polished this car with New Finish and ran it through 52 car washes. Even after heavy-duty detergents and powerful scrubbing, the water still beads. New Finish.
Available at Rite Aid, Ace Hardware, Pep Boys, AutoZone, Walgreens, Kmart, and other leading stores.
The amazing power of Duracell Ultra.
Mike's towing, please hold.
Oh, no.
Cell phones get up to 100 more minutes of talk time. Duracell Ultra, with a concentrated power force to give more life to your high-tech devices.
Mike's towing, can I help you?
Hey, could you put me back on hold?
Duracell Ultra, more power, more life.
ESPN Speed World coverage of Thunder from Louisville Motor Speedway, being brought to you by Outback Steakhouse. No rules, just right. Brian Gerster wins here at Louisville. Our onboard cameras courtesy of CarQuest. For your nearest CarQuest store, call 1-800-492-PART. Just after the checkered flag drop, Larry, we had a bit of an incident involving Jason McCord.
Yeah, look at the right side of your screen. He just got in there way too hard. He tried to get across the finish line. He got way too hard into that corner, way too high, and he hit very hard with the right rear corner of that car.
But the evening belongs to Mr. Gerster. Let's talk to him, and here's Mr. Lee.
Boy, I like that youthful enthusiasm. We began the show with some moisture in Victory Lane from sponges. We're going to end the show with some moisture in Victory Lane. It's starting to rain. Congratulations, your first USAC Sprint Car win.
Man, thanks a lot. I really owe a lot to these guys for hiring me to drive this car. Bill Biddle owns it. Greg Smith works on it all week long, and along with some of his relatives that come to the shop. My dad helps us with the setup, and you know, it's really neat. I got to say hi to my girls back at home, and this is for you guys.
Now listen, you had that late yellow. That gave you a chance to cool the tires, and talk about that last pass on the high side.
I think we were just a little bit better on colder tires than what he was, and you know, so the yellows kind of kept helping me get a shot at him, and you know, we were just fortunate to make the car stick. You know, I said earlier that we didn't think we needed all that horsepower, but there was one time there when I stepped on it, and I was glad we had a lot of motor, because the Hoosier tires hooked up, and it got us right up next to him, and we were able to stay there, and the car handled really good, and you know, just, you know, we got a little lucky. We thought we could come down here and be faster than what we did, and we didn't qualify as well as we wanted, so that moved us up a row, and I'm sure that helped.
Will this propel you on to perhaps going for the championship this season?
We kind of had the intention of trying to run all the races. We haven't been quite as strong on the dirt. I've got a really good race car. John Baker owns my dirt sprint car, and he's been taking me to those races. I just don't have a lot of dirt sprint car experience, so you know, we're going to go to all the races probably, and if we can pick up the program a little bit on the dirt, you know, I think we can handle them on the pavement. But, you know, the Indy 500 and the Daytona 500 are all on pavement, so I guess if you're going to be better at one, it might as well be the pavement.
And the first win comes as the rain falls here in Louisville.
There you go, Brian Gerster. Let's take a look at the top 10, and while you look at the top 10 finishers, we will tell you that Derek Davidson will go out of here with a 30-point lead on Brian Tyler. And Dave Darlin will be in third position, just 1 point behind Tyler. So a good points battle shaping up already as we look at 6 through 10.
Oh, it was a very good race, a very entertaining race. And Gerster did a great job. Some of those guys came from a long way back, too.
Remember, more racing is coming up this weekend on ESPN on Saturday afternoon at 3 o'clock Eastern Time. It's the Memphis 200 for the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series. Our next Thunder telecast will be from Indianapolis Raceway Park, the USAC Coors Light Silver Bullet Series, the Coca-Cola 100. That's on May 22nd at 9:30 Eastern Time. And again, our congratulations to Brian Gerster, who has picked up his very first USAC Stoops Freightliner Sprint Car win here at Louisville Motor Speedway. We'll see you for Silver Bullet action later at Indianapolis Raceway Park. For Larry Rice, Amy Easton, Gary Lee, I'm Bob Jenkins. So long, everyone.
Part of Go Network, go.com.